What's up, boys and girls? Old Uncle 2 back with you once again. 4 days in a row, 4 uploads in a row. Matter of fact, this is my second recording for the day because you guys are hitting that like goal. And if you keep hitting the like goal, I'm going to keep going, consecutive uploads. And in fact, today, we're not going to even increase the like goal. We're going to stick to 50. We're small fries. We'll keep it at 50. And we'll maybe tomorrow we'll raise it. But today, let's just get 50 likes. Come on, guys. Hit that like button. And we'll upload again tomorrow. But today, I think it's a big one. Let's just talk. Let's just look at the. Let's basically do a week preview for the week trading ahead. We talked about Bitcoin earlier today, and the trades that I think I see coming up on that. And shocker, there's some relation, in what this chart's looking like as well. I told you guys I was short on Bitcoin. I still am, and this is one that I would take a short here, except for I don't typically trade futures when I trade, the S&P. I'll take it in options in the SPY or shares. A lot of you guys do it in futures, which is fine as well, but I just don't typically. So I can't, since I don't typically do that, you can't trade options until market open. But say this was crypto, I'd probably take it a short there just because of the binary setup. Basically, is that either it dies and you're right, or it goes through and you just take the loss and you just eat it. But the longer I've been talking, and I had to stop and re-record just because I messed up. That happens sometimes. And the more I talk, the more it goes in the favor of the short. But it's worrisome because it's just been, price has just been going up, at least here on the 15-minute with RSI going down. This divergence is usually a good sign that it's going to fall off a cliff, but just the way it climbed right up to the resistance, I'm not totally sold, because sometimes when it does this and it climbs the resistance, it's rare when it happens, but when it does, it's sure as shit when I'm going to use it short, it just blasts through and then blows that resistance, divergence out of the water. See, and now we've already, we're coming down. See how far we've gone down on the RSI and how the price is not even going external here. So we're basically maybe resetting the RSI already to go up, continue, make another higher high on price, lower high on RSI, or just even blast. And then basically what would happen if you start to moon and you see this come up through here, that's when it's like that's one of the few times maybe you could take a breakout trade. Depending on the setup, there's some breakout setups that are pretty good. That'd be one. Don't try it. Anyway, but right now we're right in this precipice area, and I hit you guys with that video last week, and then I updated Twitter. Said this on Friday. I could see this falling off a cliff today at some point. If not, this idea off the low probably pivots. I think I actually did a video on that as well. That was the first video I think in this series. But I don't think I'm pivoting just yet, because where are we at here? It has gone. There's a reason that I had left this on the chart, right? This line here, it was above where we were. It is kind of interesting that we got out of this base trend. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the chart. I think that it will come back into significance maybe when we drop, right? Come back down into here. And we only barely broke out of here. It was almost a wick on 5 minutes. So, I'm not too worried about that. We'll look at the Qs in a second, and we'll see that we're right in the golden corner pocket, and I'm sure it's lower now. But just a few minutes ago, it was right in the golden corner pocket, and had not broken the 65 at all. So, yeah, until we break up out of this area, was significantly through here up into this range, I'm not pivoting on this idea. That happens, I might just pivot and maybe go to this as being a weird-ass 1, 2, working on 3. Let's go ahead and actually take it. But right now, if I could, if you could take a trade right this second, I'd take it short. And I would only aim to here, If you're in futures or options, this is a pretty significant move anyway. If you size it, all depends on how you size. Anyway, let's look at the Qs. Now, well, yeah, we'll talk about how I feel the whole, let's just say the realm is going to go. It's either going to, like I say, blast off, turn around, and start to retrace, and really probably fall back down into this area. You know, of course, it's going to find resistance where I told you I'd take that short till if I were short right off that. But ultimately, you know, it would probably go to that area on the last chart or this chart, same area, retrace, and then come back down, at least test this area. If, you know, probably, obviously, you know, the primary is to make new lows down here, right? But, yeah, nice binary setup right this second. And if this is presenting itself at open, it's worth a short. It's not the prettiest, but it's worth it. So if we break up out of here, I think that, again, I think we're pretty much like, that's ball on. You know, if we broke out of that divergence and just shrugged it off, typically that means like long trades, like get long, risk on, go. If not, we're just going to move trades to the downside. You know, like I said, look for 5 down, 3 up, get in on the trend short. But right now we're kind of in, since again, I can't take a long right now. Wait and see mode. I am short on Bitcoin. Remember, I am short on Bitcoin, which is almost identical, right? Like it's almost in that, it's in that same sort of spot. It's not necessarily up on an algo per se. Actually, let's pop over here. Oh, this is a little, I made a thing on Twitter for you guys. Oh shit, I didn't actually mean to do that. Okay, never mind. We'll look at Bitcoin at the end. Actually, let's see if I can just... Here we go. Oh, I can't delete this. I hate when I make stuff like this on my charts that I can't just click delete all. Sorry guys, bear with me. Alright, that was quite the distraction, sorry. Okay, so yeah, remember I'm short here. And then would potentially long out of there. We're not quite to the 50, and again, even if you do break out of the 50, you get up to the 618. It looks like it just touched the 50 now or earlier. That trade is still pretty much right at where I entered it. If you didn't take it, you still have the opportunity to. Again, I'm playing that quite tight, not like it's 65 that the algo's gonna be stopped down on their side, just that, you know, I'm looking for 1-to-1 extension for the 5th from the 1, you know, standard stuff. Let's actually check in on this real quick. So yeah, higher high, higher high, higher high. Bit of divergence. Lower, lower. Not as bad as the ES, but yep, I'm sticking with it. Still calling it. And, you know, look at the reaction around the 50. You know the algo money's there. That's why we're doing it. And again, we're not trying to, you know, we're not shooting for the dirt here. We're just at max trying to get a zigzag out of it. But, you know, probably honestly cut it off at the A. That's just how I would do it if I'm watching it. So, similar, but not the same. But same thing that I was explaining on that Bitcoin video. Go back and watch it. That if it goes ham, you know, maybe bottom is in, you know, and to be honest, if I see this thing shrug off that divergence and just go, then, you know, Bitcoin's going to probably do the same thing. Now, so we're kind of at that's, you know, right in that corner where we can take a left or a right on this. You know, we're either going to go left or we're going to go right, and we'll know which way we're going to be trading early on in the week. Currently short bias, and we can easily flip that. But what's kind of interesting is I think that the commodity world and the energy sector are pretty much ready to go. Let's look at gold first. Look at this thing. So, you know, if you guys watch me on Twitter or follow me on Twitter, you see that, you know, I've been pretty bullish on calling a turn in gold here. We did come down and almost make another low, but we didn't. And in fact, I kind of like this better, the way it did this, just because it just created an environment that I think can help sustain a rally, not making a newer lower low. Would have been nice to get some hidden bull on that, but we certainly got impulsive right off that low, and then now the algos are on the long side, right? So it wicked through the 65 here, but suffice to say, check it up here for the expansion. We reacted at the 50 again. So I mean, I think that this is starting to, and even if it come down for like this, looks like it could finish the zigzag to the downside. Either way, there's just, let's just say there's long interest, right? So something like that, I don't know. But there's long interest on something that's been going down since, you know, August, and even before then. That was just like a short-term rally, right? Yeah, I think this is ready to sustain to the upside, and looking for good excuses to get long. I don't see one right now, but if we did something like this, you know, just like I showed you guys on that easiest trade, you know, change your life. Nice zigzag down here, a completed zigzag down. I don't necessarily need any sort of resolution in there. And I'm even gonna, at that point, want to be here. Yeah, if we could get some nice little, let's see, wouldn't want 1-to-1, but something like this right into the GP. And if this, especially if this RSI got lower than the last one, that could be juicy. Nice little long here. And this is of course the futures chart. Same. You can trade on futures. You can trade shares of this on the different indices, and of course options on those as well. All right, so then we want to look at, let's see, nothing in here. Lumber's been nuts, right? So I don't know if these building material costs have translated to the buyer at this point, but what does this thing look like to you? Looks like an ending diagonal playing out. Maybe there's another lower low to come, but you know, and how long is this taking to play out? Probably a while. This is from June. We're on the daily. So let's get down here on the 1 hour. August 22nd here. I mean, it does feel like it could use one more lower low to the downside. We did get nice divergence through here, but I'd like to see one more pivot of divergence with a major instead of internal to this. But it's starting to look like a diagonal, some sort of ending diagonal. And if we get up outside of these trend lines, along the retrace, if we can break up out of this trend line and be looking along the retrace, you know, do your whole thing, like I said in that video 2 days ago, how to trade that simple move, right? You're gonna be look, if you get 5 waves off this low, especially if it breaks out of here and it's inadequate to retrace this shit, which it would be, looking for that 3C, that very high quality 3C, you know. And this isn't clear at all, but I'm gonna call this impulsive. If we go down in decent little 3 wave, take that shit all day. But right now, it's going to probably need to retrace in 3, you know. So it'll probably, if the ES starts to go, it'll want to, you know, go with it. But then it might start to diverge. Be looking for something like that on gold. Of course, silver. Or I'm sorry, that's lumber. We already talked about gold. Same sort of deal. We need to get down and retrace, and then look at let's look at the energy. I like this one, especially for, you know, green stuff. There's nuclear in here. Okay, so this was the last update that I did, I don't know, weeks ago now, but pretty much played out. You know, these things never play out exact, right? And people that think they do, it's kind of funny. Anyway, this is pretty much perfect. As the way we were looking for it to do, is to retrace down to here and then can go up. So based on this chart, which I know I didn't, because you guys know I haven't been paying attention that much, but now Labor Day's over, so let's go. So you would have been in here already if you're smart, unlike me. But now we're just going to continue on. And I mean, right now with this 5-wave here, 3-wave down, we're long bias at least until the algo profit take, right up here. So again, same thing, boys, same thing. This does not look like an impulse though. Still long bias up to here, but that does not look like an impulse at all. Let's see if we got a little series going up. Oh, yeah, we do. All right, let's run this algo series out real quick. So that broke there. Down to here. Yep. Profit take there. Okay. Back on it. Yeah. Here we stand. Okay. So we got bull side algo still in it, even though we broke there. You can watch, if you remember, you can go watch my algos video. Teach you all about that. So yeah, I'm long bias at least into here. See what this looks like around open. You could even take a long opening, you know, morning long, open long around here, and if it goes in your direction, ride it out. If it doesn't, get the hell out of there. This one looks the closest to being about where you want it. But yeah, I think that the commodities and the energy is looking good, and you can spread this out to other charts and things like that. But I don't want to hit a million charts today. Let's go ahead and just look at. Well, we looked at Bitcoin, so I think we've looked at everything. So I think we have essentially a spot here on that it's iffy here on the indices, but I think it's short, right? Short currently, and to be honest, even short term short, but longer term down to here. Depending on what your degree of trends are. But to me, this is a little bit longer term. This could even, to get down to here could take even more than this week of trading. Could happen tomorrow. But definitely, if it looks like this in the open, I'm going to take a short that would at least target like the next area of support down here. And if it gets right through it, then we'll go ahead and run down to this area of support or this area of support on this chart. And if it breaks through, we'll be ready to pivot, but we will probably, all depends on how it looks at open. That's huge, but this one here is ready. I think energy and commodities have some retracing to do before the long. Although the energy here, Energy Fuels Inc., it's ready to. It seems closest to ready to go. This one's harder to trade on the lower. These are ones that's kind of like better just to take out here at like the 4-hour, and don't try to parse these smaller moves just because it's not as liquid. So maybe try to be a bit greed a bit for the 50 618 right back into this little pocket of support. Yeah, there's a nice little pocket of support in here. If we turned on our VPVR tool, we'd see that. You guys know this one. See, look at that little high volume node right here, supported for. It's just hanging on to this hop. Yeah, I don't want to be down into this 50 618. It'll looks like it could knife through down into 618 and then really grab into support in there. Yeah, that even brings you back into the territory of this trend line. It's pretty close. I would greed for it, especially since everything else seems like it needs to go back a little bit more, especially when it's these indices like the NQ and the ES. Like when those things need to take a dump. Like almost everything's going to go instinctively with it at first and then maybe change direction. Despite what this is doing. But if this rips based on that volume dropping, divergence building, it could have ripped down and just grab everything with it. Like, I hope it does with Bitcoin because, I'm short. And looking to get long too. So I can't get that, which the long is going to be, that's the real trade to me. And you can't get that without getting the down. So we're looking at currently short Bitcoin. If you're trading futures, you can currently be short NQ. Not necessarily feeling as strong at this moment about turning around to a long on the indices, but on Bitcoin, I want to turn that into a long. Commodities, energy, looking to get long on those after some retracements. You could even look to short, short for a 3C here. This is another one I don't necessarily, in futures, this is great to trade in futures because it's futures, but when you're trading those indexes, they're not quite as liquid. So I don't really trade this one as on lower time frames as much. But yeah, that's where I'm at, boys. I think that this is an interesting week coming up, and if we keep doing these videos, I'm definitely going to try to update you guys on any and all trades that happen this week. So let's get in on that. So right now, put it down on the paper. We're short. We're short Bitcoin, and tomorrow I haven't looked at any alts for a while. Give me 50 likes, and we're gonna look at the juicy alts. And put in the comments what alts you want me to look at. Of course, we're gonna look at Ethereum. Of course. What other alts you want me to look at? Give me some juicy names. Don't give me the random shitter coin that no one knows about. Give me some good projects to look at. I wanna start looking at some shit coins to trade. All right, boys. 50 likes. That's all we need. You've been crushing the likes, so I know that that's not going to even be a problem. Tomorrow, this number's going up. But today, 50 likes. All right. Toot out.